guys, and welcome to RC Cincy. This is a video that I've really been wanting to do. So this is going to be kind of a test run for the machine after part 3 is basically completed besides minor touch-up paint and small adjustments. Other than that, it is pretty much finished. So I had replaced the full hydraulic system. This is not factory, by the way. And I also, amongst testing, this isn't the full test video. It got done raining, it's kind of crappy out, but I wanted to test a few things with the machine. So as you know, this is the factory bucket that comes with the machine. Of course, it does have a quick detach on it. I thought that was really nice. Don't like the hardware that came with it. It's kind of big and not really scale. I'm probably gonna be replacing the hardware for sure. I'm gonna look into a hobby shop, getting, like, obviously I'm not gonna do Phillips, I'm gonna do Allen, and then some kind of little smaller bolt or some kind of pinning system or something like that, just for these. I'm also gonna spray paint the quick detach, but for now, I guess it works. So this is the standard factory bucket. This is a 580 bucket. You can see the size difference. There is a huge size difference there. And then I 3D printed a 3-tooth trench bucket. This is, I do believe, 10% fill-in. So these aren't that thick, so I think that's probably solid, but wherever there was a significant space, there might be fill-in in here, which actually technically make these low fill-in rate, which actually technically makes these buckets a lot weaker. So there's one thing I've adjusted, and I'll show you guys why I did that. So this is probably 10 or 20%. I think it's 10% fill-in, PETG printed, so it's not weak stuff. It's not PLA. I think this is a little bit stronger than PLA. Maybe PLA Plus is equivalent to it, or maybe a little stronger. This has a little bit more flex, but is reasonably strong. A little bit better with heat. These aren't the best for UV and outdoor stuff. You want to do ASA or ABS. Probably ASA would be the better. So there is that. So that's the trench bucket. And then I also wanted a very large sand bucket. I thought this was really cool. So this is the size difference between your factory bucket and then the sand bucket. It's more square, more for, you know, grading a ditch line or whatever, putting sand in a trench or whatever you want to use it for. Like I said, 10% on this one as well. I don't know how thick inside there, if these are hollow. That's one thing that from now on, I'm doing 100% fill-in. And I did that, and once again, I'll show you guys why. So from now on, I'm doing 100, especially on something that needs a lot of strength. Not to say that this is weak, this will probably be fine, but I just want it to be as strong as possible. So this was a ripper that I 3D printed, and I accidentally broke it by taking off the plastic support on this side. You can tell what side had plastic support, what side didn't. It does have these little screw holes, basically designed to put like tooths and little plates here, which is really cool. It fits. This is the 580 pattern, so it technically fits that. A little loose. I could adjust these measurements, get a caliper, and actually get it more precise, which I'm going to do in the future once I learn to use the software to adjust it. But let me go ahead and break that apart because it's not really glued. You can see there is a huge space in there. There is like this like X's in there, but that's not strong at all. Like, well, maybe, well, yeah, I give it a little bit, maybe it's a little bit stronger than I thought. PTG is way stronger. Oh, wow. So there's the supports in there. See that? It was a little bit stronger than I thought. Honestly, the way I was prying on it with a knife, I don't think, because the way it digs is this way and all that strength this way is enormous. I think it would have been fine this way. The good part is I printed one with 10% fill-in, another one, and I gave it to my friend that actually bought the Tonglong 580 from me, and I told him, hey, rip up some stuff, tell me how it holds up and how it performs. I really, really wanted to know. I told him about leaving on like the dash in his car. It gets real hot, it may warp. Like, I told him all the chemicals and all the different things that can harm it. Honestly, you know, I cleaned that one no problem, just the way I was prying on this one a little too hard, the way I was doing it a little reckless. If you're careful taking the supports off, you shouldn't break these. But the fill-in rate, you don't have to go 100% like I did. I went 100% because I want it to last, and I'm also going to use this attachment possibly for the larger excavator. So I really, really want it to handle a lot of force. So that's the issue I have with it. Now, as far as the sides, they're hollow too. See what I'm saying? So that's what really worried me. They're hollow, right? So I'm like, well, I don't want that to happen again. So on this one, I went solid, 100% fill-in, everything. So everything you see here is 100% PETG plastic, fully filled in, fully filled in. I also went with the wall, the outer wall layer, I think from 4 passes to 5. But the dimensions really didn't change, but it feels a lot more substantial. Even if you remove these screws, honestly, I should have weighed it. That would have given you a better idea of the heft. I mean, I could instantly feel it. It is so heavy, even without the metal. Now, I did print the tooth, obviously, and then this little plate right here. It's designed for these to get wore out, and then you replace these and you don't wear out the part. Makes perfect sense. They're not the same screws. You can see one's smaller head, and then I have a couple small ones here. I should have put the small ones on one side and then the big ones on the other. I didn't take account for that, but I know this is like for testing. I'll get some nicer screws. I have a lot more screws in there. I am gonna set them. They just tap in little plastic screws, but it keeps it from these coming off, and that's what I mainly wanted. Now, I did use the 580, you know, the square one and the round one. This does work. The cool part is you can clip this on, which is 4. So if you were to pick up a bucket and clip it, obviously you still need to press the button. I know it's a manual and it's not electric. It's technically, it's not electric or hydraulic. You could easily make this a hydraulic one. All you'd have to do is, what I wanted to recommend is a lot of folks are talking about expanding their valve block. So you can do that, but there also is another option. It's called a, I don't know if it's called a 1 and a 2-way or a 1 flow 2-way valve, or I can't remember how it's pronounced. Basically, it's a little electronic valve. And what it does is it takes the hydraulic flow and it splits it to 2, and whichever way that valve moves is the way the hydraulic itself works. So if you have it on this setting, then only, you know, the arm would work. Then you hit the button, it moves over, and the quick detach would work, or a hammer. So that's the only good part about it. Typically, I'd probably use this ram right here to do that. I would run another line off of it next to it, or mounts, or hard lines, however you want to do it. You can route it neatly, and there is mounts you can screw in because it is metal. You can take that off and access it from the other side and put little bolts and put like little brackets on the side. You can make it very, very nice. I've already seen that. And there's other machines that come, like the 360L actually comes with the brackets, but they do use an electric form because it is 3S, so they're able to give it a lot more power with electricity. They have a nice power distribution block, and you can address those things with it. So there is that. So what I mainly wanted to do is throw this bad boy out here. The machine is still at 70, minus 70, plus 70 for the mixing. It was originally 80 or 100. I think it was 80 originally, and I turned it down. My valve, my pressure relief valve's all the way screwed out just because it has so much power. That pump can put up to like 8 MPAs. I saw a video of it, 8 MPAs, which is insane. So we're gonna slide this in, and we're gonna let it clip. There is play side to side. You know, I forgot to add, and that's my fault, is I had these little plastic like bushings, like little washer kind of things that I would put there, and it would take the slack side to side is the main issue. The back and forth, the up and down play isn't that bad. It's just the back and forth, and you're still gonna be able to use this for this testing, but it's not how I would run it. Now, in the future, I would like to actually reduce, like measure this and move in, or make these mounts even thicker to there, like make the mount just literally thicker, however millimeters I need, and that way it'd add strength to it, or 3D print the right size, or move the piece in through software. I'm not that good at it, so I'm not attempting that right now, but it's nice that you can. So this is gonna be raking loose rocks. I know it's not the same as like hard dirt. We're gonna try hard dirt and everything else. This is a freshly charged battery. I think everything is good. Oh, it went into the liner. Dude, it's got so much power. It is insane. Oh yeah, this is insane. So there's grass right here. It has rain, so we're gonna go right for the hard stuff. Like, why beat around the bush? So my machine is driving over there. Now, I don't like driving on these rocks, because if you get a rock wedged in, last time on my 580, I got a rock wedged in. It's completely on me. I got a rock wedged in, and my silly butt tried to go back and forth with the track, getting it out. No, pick it out. Do not let the motor do that, because at least in the 580, they have those cheap metal gears, and they just all stripped on that one side. So let's try to rip. Oh, this thing's got so much power, it's ridiculous. Let's try to rip some dirt. Oh yeah, yep. Yep, it'll rip dirt, no problem. The thing, like I said, this machine, what's hurting it is its weight. Now, I haven't addressed the weight video. That's gonna be a separate video. And if you wanna revisit that, I actually technically did a weight upgrade video in a previous video, if you wanna go to my channel. I think I increased it by 2 pounds. My goal is to have it, I think it was originally 20 or 21 pounds and I added 2 pounds, so it was like 23 or 24. I think 23. But basically, the weight makes a huge difference. That's the biggest downside to this machine. The sweet spot, they say, is 27 kilograms, which is, I don't know, in weights. Everywhere on every vlog is like 25, 27 kilograms is the sweet spot. Obviously, that is not that heavy. We can add quite a bit of weight to it. But I'll show you guys, this thing is really, like, ripping. Like, honestly, if I can increase the weight of this and it won't pull itself forward, like, it is literally ripping the grass. If I could rip enough of the grass, right? If I could rip enough of the grass, I could probably dig in hard stuff with this. Like, do you see that? Like, okay, so let's rip it up right here where you can see it more bare. Oh, I know, I got a spot. Well, it's so muddy. I do not want to go out in that mud today at all. So it literally just got done raining. That's why I'm off today. I was supposed to actually work Saturday, which is Saturday. I will publish this video today, just because I've been really, so watch. I'm going to do it right here in this red area, so you can see it better. Like, look at that. Rip. So if you can rip a few passes like this, then you go in with a bucket and clean it right up. And I'm going to show you guys what I ripped. Like, this is incredible. This for the 360L is going to be a game changer, because I've dug in the middle of the yard and I've done videos on it, and it's just slow and really not fun because it's so slow. This, you can come in there with this, and imagine this power this machine has. Well, it is significantly improved. Like, you're probably not going to get the same power with the factory one, obviously. Dude, this hydraulic system is insane. Like, look what I'm able to do. Dude, I'm going to be able to dig in hard, packed dirt with this machine. Especially with the weight increase. Oh my goodness. Like, hold on, wait till you see. Hopefully you guys can see, like how much dirt and how bad it's, like, ripping into it. This is insane. Dude, I'm going to increase the weight on this machine. This thing's going to be unstoppable. Like, oh, I'm hitting a stone. There's a stone there. Do you hear it? I just uncovered one of my flocking stones. Like, this is insane what this thing can do. I'm not worried about this claw breaking whatsoever. Like, I made it 100% fill in. So the other one possibly could have broken. I don't know. My buddy's gonna find out because he's using the electric one. And those their screwdriver, whatever, servos are very strong in metal. I mean, look at this chunk of grass I just ripped up. Like, you know how hard I'd be able to do with the bucket? Like, we need to go to some dirt back there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause this video. Dude, this thing is a beast with the claw. This hydraulic system in general is just a monster. And it's so lightweight. Like, watch this. Like, you can just grab it like this. And just, we're gonna try to sneak back here. You can hear how mushy and wet it is. And like this stuff is like hard packed dirt. Like I only dug a little bit right there in the hard roots for my new construction site. But this stuff is like hard packed dirt. And I'm gonna get a good, nice tight shot of this. There we go, guys. So let's rip up some stuff. Dude. That has not been tilled or anything right there. That you can see that is wet and been compacted. I mean, look at this. Dude, this machine now has so much power. Oh my goodness. Like I'll do a spot without the till and then use the ripper. Like I'm gonna be able to dig in this hard hillside with this machine now. I'm no longer needing the 360L. This is insane. I mean, look at that. I'm dead serious. I'll turn around and dig this way. Like, I'm dead serious. I did not till or loosen any of this dirt. This is what's like, sorry, it's a little bit of a tilt. Like, look at this. You can just rip up and did I just hit plastic? Did I break my tip off? What is that? Oh, I broke the tip. But not the plastic. I broke the tooth. The tooth, sorry. I broke the tooth because I hit the concrete. The tooth was not 100%. So the tooth was hollow too because I could have picked 100% filling rate on a tooth and I didn't. And I guarantee that's why the tooth gave out. I'm gonna print 100% tooth. I'm not worried about the actual like claw itself breaking. Dude, this is phenomenal, guys. Like, I'm not worried about it. Whoa, hold on. I do not want this to roll. I probably could have corrected myself, but I'm not even gonna take a chance because I just got this machine running great and I do not want to mess this up. So this is unpacked dirt. You can see, even without the tooth, like unless it catches a root like it just did, it does not care. Look at that. I mean, look at that. So now let me just root this up a little more and show you how easy it is to dig afterwards. And mind you, the craziest part about this is the valve block is completely turned, like the pressure relief valve is completely screwed out. And it's down to 70%. I was gonna do 60. I might have done 60. Hold on. Let me look here. I'll look with you guys. So pressed on. I guess I know. 1, 2, 3. Let go. Click on this. Go to what is it under? Not rates and exposed trims, auxiliary channel. What would it be under? Mix. It is. Hopefully you guys can see that. That is 70. So that is at 70% on the pump, and the valve block thing turned all the way out. That is insane how much power. Imagine adding some serious weight to this thing. And it does not drop. Watch. That's where it stays. That was me hitting the button. You can hear the pump turning. It goes down when I want it to. Like when I tell it stop, watch. Stop. No movement whatsoever. So the way they put those little servos in there, they were zeroed out properly from the factory, which I can appreciate. And I'm gonna address a couple other things before this video ends, so please stay to the end because I'm gonna address a few things that questions are being asked on the channel, and I'm gonna try to address those. I don't write things the best, and I do text speech, and it makes me sound like an idiot because it'll say the wrong word, and it'll like auto-correct it, and like I'll have it right, and then it'll auto-correct it, and it'll be completely wrong. So just keep that in mind. I apologize. Dude, it just does not stop with this ripper in here. Okay, so let me just run over here and grab this bucket. I have to do the factory bucket is the only one that still has pins on it. The other ones just don't have the pins. I'm gonna buy extra screws and I'm gonna do it for every single thing so I don't have to switch it. Now let's look at the damage. Wait a minute. Huh. Like I thought. Let me show you guys really quickly. The plastic piece never broke. Zero. See the plastic tip? The tooth split, not being fooled all the way. That's the tooth. It just split the tooth. See? That's the factory original plastic, and here's parts of the tooth. This plate's still good. So the tooth not being 100% filled in is just weaker than I thought. So that's, like I said, 100% fill in. Do 100% fill in or you will regret it. So slide in through here and push the button to allow it to lock in. It is locked in. Now it's time to, yeah, game changer. Game changer. Dude, I'm so happy with this machine. I'm gonna try to dig in non-tilled, like non-reeked area too, to see if she just has so much power. And there's a root. Broke it. Dude, and that's turned down. Like I said, the weight is the biggest thing now I'm fighting. See how easily it can pull itself forward? It's the weight. Not that it doesn't have power. Everything that I reaped or whatever is coming right out, no problem. Now let me show you guys what I mean. So let me set this a little bit further north, facing this way. Strong, good position, right? That right there hasn't been, where I'm pointing at, has not been tilled. So I'm gonna try to dig right here in a non-tilled area. Oh my God. Dude, it just has so much power. No, it's the weight, and then this stuff being, oh wait, watch the incline. Oh my God. Dude. I'm extremely, look at that. That's all its weight, perfectly out, no drop. Are you kidding me, man? And it's still a little fat. Expo would help. I mean, look at the size of these buckets. With the ripper, I'm gonna say right now, with this ripper, I feel comfortable taking out this entire hillside. No pre-shoveling, no loosening, no tilling, no assistance whatsoever, letting this machine get down. And that's what hydraulic power is about. That's what I always wanted. The machine don't have to sit there and prep dirt and till it and mulch it and buy bags of expensive topsoil and potting soil and just stuff that it just makes no sense to own these machines if you're gonna do that. That's why the ripper makes it easy. It doesn't strain or hurt it. Dude, I'm having way too much fun. Now you can see without the parts that aren't ripped, it's having a harder time, obviously. Because it is harder packed, this is packed dirt. Like you can see that this is packed dirt, it has not been tilled. That's all packed dirt. And you can see it does a great job of cleaning up what I tilled. I am just blown away. And you can see like where it stopped packed at and where I'm like digging. So I'll take some of it off, like I could scrape it. Like in the end, you know, you can see, that's all packed, right? Now watch. Now watch. So I'm gonna probably do an electric and a hydraulic quick detach. That doesn't bother me, but now watch. It's like, oh, you want to give me a hard time, huh? So you know how hard that stuff was. It was not digging it with the bucket. Look, boom, right through it. You know why? I wonder why I bought a 3D printer. It is the best thing ever for RC modeling. It is still hard. The weight, you can see that it's pulling itself up. But once you rake this a few times, and my tooth is broke. It did better when the tooth was not broke. The tooth is broke now. So it's kind of a weird shape. Right there. Yeah. Hold on. Did I tilt that too much and catch the damn... Okay. I don't want to catch my fitting and break them again. I did not make those spots wider at the bottom. I'm gonna... Wait. What am I hitting that bad? What am I hitting? It sounds that bad. Oh! It's the damn bracket. Probably caused a leak. So the bracket was turned too much and it was hitting. Make sure I'm not leaking anywhere. I don't see it. So one of my brackets turned and it was hitting the cab. Like I said, I didn't do a great job running those lines. It's fine. I could tighten up that bracket, keep it from moving. Not a deal breaker. Oh my God, this is just destroying. This is destroying. And I think it's a great length. And I can mod it, make it a little bit longer, like deeper, because it seems to have the power even in the low settings. Like I'm burying it to the quick disconnect, if you haven't noticed. So you do that so you can actually dig. Now you see how hard it was. It was not digging anymore. And I'm totally not worried about this claw breaking. Even with the bigger machine, you can see I'm getting in there ripping. Oh my goodness. Guys, I hope you realize how important a ripper is when you're trying to dig and pack dirt like this. I would never dream in a lifetime that this machine would be digging like this and pack dirt. If you told me when I got my Kabolite that I'd be back here ripping up packed dirt and loading it out, I would call you a liar. Not saying that it doesn't have power and it can't do stuff. I'm not saying that at all. Why can't I line this up? Am I like... what is so difficult about this? Like, are you kidding me right now? Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I have to push the button up. Because of the threads. If it was smooth, you'd be able to like put pressure down on the ground and lock it in. Which that's why I'm replacing those, which have threads on them. Why is there threads on them? All you need is threads at the end or bolt or whatever, however is attached to a pin. I'm gonna be addressing that. So now watch. Look at that, full buckets of dirt. You're able to actually legitimately dig. Still a little hard. Like I said, there's no weight in the machine. Is probably its biggest downside right now is the weight, not the power. Still kind of overpowered in my opinion right now. I wouldn't say overpowered, but like if you'd have told me I was digging in hard packed dirt like this, I would call you a liar. And it's got enough power to twist itself and turn itself with the turn slew motor and everything. Like, and mind you, right now the teeth are completely gummed up with mud, so they're not working as they should. This is insane what I just done. That is, and mind you, roots and everything. Mind you that. Compacted. This hillside has been here since 2017. So don't tell me it hasn't been compacted. I've dug way in the bottom, way over here in the bottom. Nowhere near up top, because actually I just pushed all this brush up. This is completely covered. I dug on this side and tore through these mega roots over here with the 360L. These roots were insane, and it was insane digging. So I'm floored right now. This machine has become everything I wanted it to be from the beginning. Not saying it was a bad machine. Listen, if you just want to use this for topsoil and not dig like this, that is fine. If you buy your Kabolite factory and you're just like, hey, you know what? I want to set up construction sites. I want to load out trucks, you know, have a bulldozer maybe cut it with a ripper or whatever, or a loader pilot, or get on top of a load and load out. Fine, great. This is an amazing vehicle. From the factory, I had no problems. I had a little bit of an arm drop and I addressed it with a sub trim. Problem does not get solved with a sub trim. So let me set this bucket down and let me talk about a few issues that have been written to me that I think that need to be addressed. So let me grab this, fold these legs up, and just have this straight and just use it as a, So when I purchased this machine, the very first thing I did is I removed this doghouse right here. It is not hard. I think it's 7 screws from underneath. You do have to have it powered on and kind of like turn the slew so you can get to certain screws. First thing I did is I removed this doghouse. You do need to remove this. Remember, when this is removed, if you tilt it or move it a wrong way, it will dump out oil. And this step right here, you have to lift it up and kind of turn and pull it out, right? You'll see the shape of it. So you have to do that. Once you remove this doghouse, then I turned it back on, and then I watched the arm go up and down, making sure there was 0 leaks. I had 0 leaks from the factory. There was a little bit of oil here, a little bit of oil there from assembly and stuff. Fine, clean it. That's one of the most things I recommend cleaning. Second thing is I checked the dipstick and it said it was full. And I'm like, oh, it's full, guys, you know, and come to find out, remove the 4 screws on top of there and you will see the true level. It was, I would say, this much in the tank when the tank can hold that much. So it's like that much of oil in there. Very low. The minute I got on any incline, it would run out of oil, have no power. I basically starved the system. And another thing I noticed is a little bit of, not shavings, I would say metal powder. The way they manufacture these, CNC or whatever, I feel like it's not the quality of the metal, which is low quality, by the way. There's no dispute there. It's the after cleaning the parts and making sure there's nothing loose or nothing that needs to be sanded or touched up. They may do that. They may do a rush job. Quality may have improved. I don't know. When I purchased mine was the December 6th of 2021. So they have batches. I don't know if batches vary from batch to batch or however it works or how long it's actually sat on the shelf. This is supposedly V2, which it is, a V2. Check the serial number or whatever. So this is a V2. So basically, I had the powder shavings, and that's, I think, from not properly cleaning after it's manufactured, cleaning everything. So what I did is everyone was saying, oh, you have to take all these different drain plugs and flush the system. No, I got my fluid clean, and I will show you. I know this is a new system, but prior to this new system, I managed to flush it out. Did I waste a little bit of oil? Absolutely. I bought a big job of all-purpose Lucas hydraulic oil. I bought a big jug, all-purpose, and I started out by dumping everything in the tank. Once I dumped it, I took a napkin and wiped the inside. You can see the stuff where it kind of stuck to the sides. Wiped the inside. Filled it back up with oil, went up and down. I saw more metal come out. I did that a total of 6 times. Mind you, small millimeters at a time, maybe 70, 80, I don't know. But I did that 6 times. By the 6th time, and every time I dumped it out, I'd always wipe the inside of that thing. The fluid was clear. Once the fluid was clear, I noticed the performance difference. Number one, they use mass production, low quality, big drums of hydraulic oil. Dirt and dust can get in there, water can get in there, and especially with the poor processing of that, that was the issue. Now after the 6th time, it was clean, and I noticed a temperature drop, just a little bit, not much. I have not seen these in a hot sun or summertime. I don't think they overheat. They can get warm. I think the main thing is electronics getting warm. I think this system can get warm to an extent, but the electronics is what I would worry about in my personal opinion. Especially this one has no venting. Like the other one has so much venting, and I never understood that. They could have done like a mesh right here to cool it. There is space there. It's not perfectly sealed. Mine currently has a little bit of a gap because the magnet's not strong enough to hold down. It will push all the way down without hurting anything. Just that magnet's not strong enough. I'm gonna address that. Just where my valve, my pressure relief valve currently is. I can move it, but I don't really want to. I'm just gonna address it with a better magnet or a latching system, I think. But anywho, so, you know, the temperature was lower, the performance was better. I needed less trim, back the trim back off, try to get it as close as I can. Now, mind you, if you trim it too much one way or the other, it can affect how much of the arm, because it's just like steering. If you trim it all this way, guess what? Trim it all the way this way, you're gonna have less steering to the left, vice versa. So that's the same thing that happens with the valves. You're technically trimming the valves. What you could do, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, you wanna be extremely careful, because for some reason these bolts like to break in the valve block. You could technically remove the servos, pull them out, center them, and put them back in. And set your trim, before you start it back up, set your trims back to 0 and start from there. What happens is, I don't know if they rush job it or what they do, but I feel like they're not centered properly. They need so much trim. I think it was like minus 100 in one, 70 in the other, and 50 in the other. That is ridiculous. When I got my new valve block, I set them all to 0, and guess what? It does not drop. They, I think, got a small thing you plug in, and it centers the servo is what it does. Then you unplug it, put it back in the valve block assembly, and then go from there. So I think that's a thing. I know they like to use 6mm lines and different lines. Another thing was addressed. It does not matter what lines you use depending on your setup and how you are running it. There are multiple options of running it. You can use 6mm for your tank pickups and all that, and some manufacturers actually recommend 6mm. Can you use 4mm? Absolutely. I've seen Lesu and other manufacturers use 4mm. I've seen some use 6mm. So there's, depending on the setup, I've even seen 3mm on some loaders. So depending on the setup, it's why they use certain things. So you can do that. I think 4mm is a generous supply line. That's why I chose all 100% 4mm. It gives it more than enough flow, more than enough power for this machine. Technically, there's 4mm on my 360L, which is a 1/14 scale, much more powerful machine. Now, that one does have 6mm feeding to the pump, the tank, and all that. The 4mm is just basically for the lines and like the pressure relief and stuff like that. And the 4-way is 4mm. I think just a couple pieces, maybe all of it's 4mm. I don't know. I'll address that in a separate video, and I'll show you guys the thickness and the length, and I'll take all the panels and show you the hydraulic system to give you ideas. I shared my hydraulic system. I came up with inspiration from the 360L. I just simply did. So really there's only one that matters of flow, is the pump. I ran a feed line from the tank to the pump. From the pump, you see my little distribution thing. One went to the pressure relief valve, one went to the block. The block always goes back into the tank. Once it's done, whatever fluid's left always goes back to the tank. And then I also need my pressure relief valve, allows how much fluid pressure is in there, and then the rest goes back to the tank, and I use like a 3-way, basically get it back to the tank. So you've seen my other videos. Honestly, I looked up all the parts again and added up. You can do this hydraulic system that I did, the same exact parts, exactly how I did it, for around 200 bucks. Yes, not kidding. So I highly, highly recommend it. It does take a little bit of skill mechanically to take stuff apart and work on it. And you're gonna have parts break, and you're gonna have failures, and you're gonna be upset. It's part of it. There's a gentleman, I think it's Mike's Construction. He did his different, and it looks amazing. The amount of work he did to his is amazing. Check out his YouTube channel. I think he only has like 15 or 16 subscribers, but I tell you what, his machine is decked out. He's got the 3mm hard pipeline. He's got the little emergency light there, the yellow one that spins. He's got the protection cage for like mining cage or whatever you want to call it, not sure. He's got an electronic like pressure digital gauge that goes inside the cab. Like, he's got the works. And yes, he spent more. He's bought several different valve blocks. He's, had issues, but he worked through those issues, and I think the end result was really nice. So you should check that out. Pat had another system that he did that he shared with me, and folks have other ones. Just share them. I would gladly share the YouTube channel, the name. They need to come check it out, because I absolutely love this RC community. We try to help each other. My issue is time. Not that I don't want to help anyone. It's crazy. The time that I have now going back to work is just insane. So, I try to squeeze it in when I can. So those are the things. So change your fluid, check for leaks, change your fluid, and center your servos if you can. If not, change the fluid minimal, check the leaks, Make sure there's nothing in the fluid, because little bits of like thread or something in the fluid can actually cause these things to act up. I've seen thread sealer or thread stuff get in the system, get like one of these ends, and one arm will not work as right. So just flush the system, get a good I feel like Lucas hydraulic fluid is like cheap all purpose. If you wanted to go with like Super S or a Chevron or like a really expensive one, more power to you. They recommend AW32. Some of them recommend 45s, 46. I don't know. That's your preference. AW32 is what was recommended for the 360. So that's what I went to kind of protect my hide from manufacturer, you know, warranty. So they're like, oh, you ran the wrong stuff, we're not covering it. So I wanted to protect my butt. Plus that stuff is really amazing. This is running the all-purpose Lucas, and it has 0 issues with it whatsoever. So, you know, it is what it is. You can see the amount of dirt that it's excavated, how it cut that area out, and that was tough compacted dirt. That blew me away. I even ripped some over there. Yes, the tip broke because it was not fully hardened, but the remainder is there. You can see the tip, like, see the screws are actually holding the pieces. Like the tip literally just split, and then you can see the existing one in perfect condition, no problem, no stress cracks, nothing. With 100% fill-in, yes, it's more material. I think this takes normally, in the printer settings that I have, is not crazy fast. It's relatively fast, actually. It's actually a fast printer. Like this is standard quality, by the way, which has blown me away. Standard everything. I do no tweaking. The only tweaking I did was the 100% fill-in rate. That is it. And that was a matter of just going from 10% to 100. That is it. Sliced it again to save those settings. Make sure I had the right temperature, the right material you want to print with. And that was it. And look at that. So just this split, but I guarantee if we look in there, like, it's not filled all the way. It's like, I'll clean it and show you guys later. Maybe I'll post a photo of it. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I'll just probably replace it, because this is actually like a 14-minute print. It's probably going to be a few more minutes, extra minutes, to probably more fill-in rate, because, like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I definitely want to do the 100% fill-in rate one and see how that works out. You know, I think that'll work great. The screws held up. None of them even budged or stripped out. So that tells me that the holes they made are perfect for it. Like, this is beautiful. And I think I split it by hitting that rock, but who cares? It shouldn't do that regardless. I should be able to scrape onto that rock and just get some of the plastic off, right? So very impressive stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna get away from the silver hardware. I'm gonna all black. I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna do the final touches up here and there. And honestly, this thing is a beast. I'm gonna address the battery latch being all the way down. The touch-up paint, and that's it. It's 100% factory. Well, not factory, but you know what I mean. Like, it looks scale and factory. I didn't want to change anything because I love the way this looks scale. It looks incredible. I'm gonna address that one little mount right there. See that little clip? It was just rubbing the cab. No big deal. It's truly, truly impressive, guys. I was blown away by the 3D printed parts. Hopefully the tips that I just gave you guys will help you guys out. Oh no, I just broke it off. Well, oh well. I do want the screw. Well, I have tons of other screws, but I would like to salvage that screw because I already tapped it. Well, maybe I pulled it out now. It's not gonna matter. Oh well. But you can see the hole there. The plastic is just breaking off right now because it's so thin. Like, it's not 100% fill-in. I guarantee. Well, that's kind of filled in. I don't know. I'm just gonna go to 100 and see if that adds just a little bit more, or maybe making those walls like going from 4 to 5 layer or whatever. So whatever I can do. And like I said, if the piece should be the same, but if it's like a little more like stuff in the middle, just use a drill. Because like I tried it, because there's a support in here in the teeth when you print it, so you have to like use a knife and like cut out around a little bit and then pop it out. I can use a drill to clean it up if like the fill-in rate or whatever changes that. That's not a big deal. But I'm definitely gonna 3D print a new tooth. This plate is holding up fine. Why change it? It's strong. It's holding up just fine. I'll just probably print a couple extra teeth. I'll probably do like 3 or 4 with 100% fill-in and go from there. So I'm really blown away by this claw. I'm blown away by my 3D printer. I'm blown away by this hydraulic system now. It is a beast. It will rip itself around, no problem. And mind you, it's turned down, incredibly turned down. So I can only imagine if I could double check the fittings and everything and just make a little bit everything like perfect and strong and tight and increase that a little bit, like this thing would be a monster. Like digging and pack dirt with a with a GC, with a 336 GC. I can't even say it because I never imagined it. Obviously it's because of this, but like I don't care. Like these are attachments that, you know, I can hook up, and having it electric attachment, or not even electric, maybe push the button just to release, but like have it to where I can put it on, like have it clip without that, and then getting obviously the space correct. I'm curious to see if this will fit the 360L. I will do that, and I will find the sizes and print one for the 360L. I think an all metal one for the 360L was like $100 and something. I'm like, so I'll just 3D print one and do 100% fill in, and this thing is super strong, and I guarantee I'll rip the dirt up with it, and then it'll make it that much funner, that much easier to dig with it. So that's incredible. I think the next bod, it's pretty much done. Touch up, clean up, it's pretty much done. Like I love this thing. Like I said, it's 99% done. A little touch up here, a little touch up there, but I really want to just enjoy this and just put it through its paces and dig a bunch with it just to make sure everything is solid. Obviously with time things can get loose. Always check your fittings, check everything. Do not over tighten them, you can break them. You'll just have to replace them. Just keep an eye on things, keep an eye on your oil level. I know it sucks the way they have it. I'm seriously thinking about, like, I don't know, maybe drilling another hole in the back, like right here, making another one and then putting a bolt through and painting it black or whatever, and like where I can actually look down in there, because that hole's so narrow it's hard to see down in there, just to be able to actually look and see where the level is. I think I can use like a toothpick or something and maybe dip that in there instead of that dipstick. I feel like it lies to me. It tells lies for sure. So that's why I recommend removing that lid. I know it's a pain in the butt, the 7 screws and all that, but yeah. So there you have it, guys. Leak-free, powerful, absolutely powerful machine. Definitely needs the weights. It is so freaking muddy out here. Look at this stuff. Brand new Pumas out here in this. Well, not brand new, but like nice Pumas out here. So I absolutely love this hobby. Get out and enjoy yourselves, guys. This, you know, as much time as you have, and you can totally include your family. That's why I love this hobby so much. So I like to give channels shout out. Check out each other's channel, man. Support each other. Lift each other up, give each other good advice, the best to your knowledge. I could be wrong, and there could be better advice out there. I don't disagree with that. You know, I just have these things and I experience it. That's why I give you my experiences. If you've never had a hydraulic machine and you see something and you're trying to like correct someone, it's kind of rude, because you have to experience it and go through it to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forget, a while back a guy was commenting on my 336 something about, or my 360 something about it, and he doesn't even have one. I'm like, how do you know these things? Like, do you just go to like shows and stuff and find stuff? Like, I don't know how he knows this information, right? Like, do you produce it? Do you work on them? Like, it'd be nice to know that. I don't want to pull these screws out though, because I just broke the plastic, but I want to strip these holes out. Obviously you go with a bigger screw, and these holes are actually kind of strong. Like, watch, you can unscrew this because it got it kind of loose. Boom, came out. There's the little screw I used. You can use different sizes. I try to use nice long ones that got a nice bite of it, you know, because I don't want that tooth to pop out. It did not come out. It just broke off. So really impressive stuff, guys. 3D printers is the future, guys. You can print. Oh, by the way, as far as RC parts go, I'm getting myself into some major projects. These projects are going to take a lot of time and a lot of money, and it's going to take me a while to kind of process and deal with it. I want to 3D print an entire excavator. I think it was a EC 550 or a smaller one than the one I have. I either want to do a bigger one or a smaller one. I don't want to do a 480. I have a 480 DL. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do a 336. So I'm thinking of doing just like a 550, or like the smaller one, the 3 something, whatever that is, the 330, whatever, the smaller one, like the 380 or whatever it is. Do one of those, 3D print the entire machine. Use the servo screws that they use like on the 580 and stuff, so they're actually really strong and can actually dig and have really good control. So I want to do that. And then I also want to 3D print like a bulldozer. So my goal is a bulldozer, a loader, a track hoe or excavator, and then possibly a dump truck as well. A trailer, I think, is going to be the first Oh, well, I have more. The trailer is going to be the first project I 3D print. I found a trailer. Now, it is a little bit bigger. I think it's 110 scale or 112 scale. So, it could theoretically be used for my 360L if it's strong enough. I'm definitely doing 100% infill. I'm definitely doing a lot of supports and stuff on it. Because you got to think about it. That excavator is 60 pounds all day long. So, you got to think that in mind. Now, I don't have the tractor, right? My buddy has the tractor that has the 580, has the tractor, and it is 114 scale. This trailer is like 112 scale or 114th, 110, somewhere around there. Close enough that I could use it. So we just got to connect it. It's a pull behind, you know, with the ramps and everything. I'm sure you can make the ramps, you know, with little servos automated. I'm sure you could do a little electric lift for the hitch and then whatever else. I'm sure there's a little thing that you could connect, or you could connect hitches to. He would need that part. If I have to print that, that's no problem, because it's technically like a tractor where you would be like, you know, with the thing in the middle, what's called fifth wheel, I don't know, but yeah. So I'm gonna print that. It may be smaller. I may be able to use my Western Star, I don't know, but I want to print that trailer and put my big machine on there, see how it holds up. I like to print other things. I found a cute little Bobcat project that's supposed to take like 30 something minutes to print. Well, no, maybe more than that. I think they're exaggerating, but like a little, maybe not that little, might be kind of big Bobcat. Like you buy some cheap servos and then the speed control like I had, and then like a receiver, and you basically, and a battery, and you basically have this little remote control Bobcat. I wouldn't mind sharing a project like that with you guys. I still have other things that need to be reviewed that I still have in boxes. I need a pull-up immediately because I have so many projects that require a pull. I don't like using ponds because they're dirty, nasty. Something goes wrong, you're losing it. I want to see the true performance, how it does, other views, easier to see, easier to recover. So I want to test it there before I go to a lake. I have no problem testing out a pond. I've done that several times. So just so many things going on with planes as well, with jets, with other tanks, other projects, other RC 3D printing projects. It just, the list goes on. And I'm gonna try my best to put that out for you guys. I know this video is long, but trust me, all this news and everything, you guys want to hear it. There's gonna be a lot going on. So extremely proud and happy with this thing. This thing is a beast. I'm gonna do my best to get one to fit on the 360L, because that'll just make it to where I'll just go out in the yard and just rip some stuff up easily. A lot easier. It still did it. And mind you, by the way, my 360L was turned down. I didn't know it. The operating oil pressure is supposed to be 2.5, and mine's been running at 2. So technically, I'm like my pressure has been lowered. So when I first got it, I turned it, and I thought I turned it back to the same position. I did not. I shortchanged it, and it reduced the pressure. So that's the funniest part about that. That big lift test I did, and all that digging I did in the yard was like lower PSI. A half a Pascal is like 70 something or 60 something PSI. That is quite a bit. So keep that in mind. That's insane. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. The 336 is back. Minor touch up. Definitely 99.9% done. The touch-up paint is gonna take a second. Stronger magnet, maybe. We're just rearranging that. I don't know yet. It is a beast. No leaks. Powerful machine. Love it. I highly recommend doing this upgrade, especially if you're having all kinds of problems or you break something and the parts, literally that block assembly thing that the bolts broke out of. I could actually tap them. I saved my distribution block. All I need to do is the bottom plate, just tap those out, and I have that system. Now it's going to be used for another project, but I do have that hydraulic system. So that was like close to $300. So it's actually cheaper to do the upgrade, by the way. Looking at 2 something. So you got good old friendly shipping charges, right? So try to get something. I think Motivation had just about all of it. If you get to one and get one shipping fee, that would be incredible. I doubt they're going to try to nickel and dime you. No offense, AliExpress. So yeah, there you have it, guys. So that's everything I need to tell you guys about this episode. Stay tuned for tons and tons of more tests. The full construction site will be here. I'm literally going to shift the dirt. I will pack it, stomp it in. I want to build like a road and have like dump trucks come up and get loaded. I want to load with that one. I want the bigger one kind of back here up on that hillside, ripping up that area. Like, it's going to be a serious concern. It's going to have fencing, scale stuff, figurines, you know, the lunchtime with the little burgers and little drinks, and the fire extinguisher. And I'm a 3D print more barriers. I have fencing, signs, it's just gonna go on and on. I have the chains and everything. I want to 3D print the pipes for the drainage and everything. It's gonna be insane. This is gonna be a major, this might even be a pipeline. I don't know yet. Like, it's gonna be a huge major construction site. Stay tuned for that. That will be coming really soon, time permitting. This is technically Mother's Day weekend, so hopefully you have a great time with your mom. If not, and if she's not here, may she rest in peace, and just have a good time with your family. Remember your mom. It's just, the moms are amazing. I cannot wait to see my mom Sunday, so super excited. So may you guys have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.